Today we have one of my best friends, YouTuber, influencer, occasional streamer, and Starbucks enthusiast, Kalynn Koury. On this episode, we try to get to the bottom of who is Kalynn Koury and why should we care. We discuss her past accomplishments, future life plans, and why she is scared of the late Michael Jackson. All that and more on this week's episode of COOLDOG. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Doghouse, to the COOLDOG Podcast, the COOLDOG Experience. Today, we have Kalynn Koury on, the sister half of the sibling duo Sinjin Drowning. How are you?
Do I need to bark or something?
If you want to.
Well, after you said, I feel like we both should. After you said, welcome to the doghouse.
Okay. Should we
but
do
you gotta
it?
say it. Yeah.
So what? Should we do it at the same time?
Yeah. So go welcome to the doghouse, and then we'll.
All right. Okay. Welcome. Welcome to the doghouse, Kalynn Koury. I was like, I
don't want to do it anymore.
Well, you kind of did it, so I kind of got you to do it. This is a big show. I have invited you on with the full intention of not having your brother here, because I feel like you guys, everybody knows you as Sinjin Drowning. You guys are like an iconic sibling duo. Many people wish that they would have as strong of a connection with their siblings as you guys do.
You're like the Paul brothers.
Yeah, except less annoying a little bit, I would say. So I had a total brain fart right now. I'm not gonna lie. Like every thought I just had went out of my head after you said Paul brothers. So I think the connection's beautiful, but I feel like a lot of people don't see you guys individually.
As
sometimes.
God.
Yeah, as like as like a one. Who we want to get to know who is Kalynn Koury. So, who are you?
I'm 20 years old. I don't use Reddit. I have a degree. I feel like the Reddit part is important. I feel like we should highlight on that.
Nobody even mentioned Reddit. Nobody was thinking about Reddit. So
I just feel like if you want to know me, you should know that I don't use it. I wouldn't do that.
Right. Okay. Well,
unlike some people.
Like who? Or is this like a little indirect, or like what's the...
Yeah, I mean, well, it's kind of the host of the show.
Right.
I know you've had some Reddit moments.
I used to use Reddit like 5 years ago when it was cool to use Reddit. And then at a certain point, it stopped being cool to use Reddit. So I stopped using it. And that's really how it went, I would say. But
I feel like you still use it a little bit. You
have a degree, right? What do you have a degree in? And are you happy with your choice of pursuing a degree even as a full-time YouTuber?
I have a communications degree. I just spent 2.5 years in college. So, I mean, it wasn't like a complete waste of time. I don't know. If I went for 4 years, I'd feel stupid to spend all the money and go for 4 years to get a communications degree. But I don't know. It's fun.
Only
it's like
idiots
a little
go to
flex. College. Okay, well,
is that what you're saying?
Well, no. I don't know. Like,
only idiots spend 4 years on a degree. If you don't need
college, if you have something going, you don't need college.
No, I agree.
Like, what am I gonna do with a little degree?
I agree. I think it's kind of like in America, especially. I think outside of America, going to college isn't really seen as the must do, because there's no like a lot of kids that I went to school with, they didn't go to college. They went to like trade school, or they just like got work outside of.
Wait, what's trade school?
Trade school is like it's like college, but it's like you learn like different trades, like becoming a car mechanic or like like stuff like that. So I would say it's I to any like kids that are graduating high school or they don't know what to do with their lives, I would recommend looking into trade school, because I think especially now with this whole like new crazy wave of everybody just trying to rush their way to universities, I feel like trade occupations are going to be very well paid, because people are going to be looking for them because nobody's doing it. Also, less debt. But yeah.
True.
So communications degree. Did you minor in anything?
Yeah, in psychology, which was really fun. I actually really enjoyed that. Maybe more than communications.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
I don't know. All the classes were fun. It's just like the required classes that you have to take before are annoying, and I hated them.
So
philosophy,
with your degree, what kind of jobs would you be looking at if you were looking to get hired?
I guess like managing somebody's social media, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Or because I have the degree in communications, but it's in like digital media.
Right.
So it'd still kind of be in the world of YouTube and everything, but less involved.
Mm. Would you say you learned a lot in college, or would you say it was more of like a, yeah?
I don't really think I learned anything other than psychology stuff.
What'd you learn about psychology? Do you remember any like cool psychology facts?
Well, now that I think about it, I'm like, I don't think I learned anything. Maybe I did. Maybe I learned more communication stuff.
Yeah, that's fair.
When somebody likes you, they'll put their they'll pose the way that you pose. So that's true.
The way that I pose?
If they find you attractive, so say you're like doing like this or something at like a table, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, they're cute. Then they'll do it.
Right. Interesting.
And then, oh, sorry.
No, you don't have to apologize. You don't have to. It's a conversation. You don't have to apologize. A little psychology fact that I learned that is, if you're in a group setting and if somebody likes you, they will look at you when everybody's laughing.
I heard that too. And also, like, if you're in a conversation with somebody and they're like facing away from you, they don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, that's pretty obvious, I feel like.
Yeah, but I don't know. People don't really know, I guess.
So, you went to college in New York City.
I did.
I
love New York.
Was that your, like, immediate plan, or was that, like, how did that come to be?
In high school, I was just kind of like, oh, I'll go to a North Carolina school because that's what everybody does. And then, I don't know when it kind of clicked, but I was like, I can go to school anywhere. Like, I don't have to stay here.
Yeah.
So then I applied to 3 schools in New York, and then I got into 2 out of 3, and then I just picked. And then I went.
Which ones did you get into? So wait, were your final options between ones in North Carolina and New York, or was it just New York ones?
I think I applied for 3 in North Carolina and 3 in New York, and I got into 2 in North Carolina and 2 in New York. But then I was like, I cannot stay here any longer.
I feel that.
So then I was just like, all right, the New York ones will do.
So something that always fascinated me about that is when I met you guys were still in New York. And I will definitely ask Weston about this more as well, because this has always been very fascinating to me. But when you guys lived in New York, Weston was underage and you were going to college and there were no parents. So how did that really come to be? That's really fascinating to me.
Well, I mean, our parents, they've always lived in North Carolina, or at least my dad has.
Yeah.
So there was no way that they were just going to go and move with us. And at first I was like, oh, I'll just do a dorm. But then Weston was like, well, I mean, if you're going to New York, I might as well go too, because we've always wanted to live there.
Right.
After going there. So then we were just like, all right, we'll get an apartment.
That is...
But I don't know. I don't even know how it worked, because who's going to rent to like an 18 and 16-year-old? So I don't know how that happened. It did.
Yeah, that is pretty fascinating to me. That's why I was always like... I remember the first time I saw you guys' videos, I was kind of just looking at it. I was like, where, like, so they're filming videos in the living room. So, like, where are their parents during this? Because I was literally like, I don't think at that point I even knew how old Weston was, and I just presumed that he was like 15 when he was like 17.
Yeah.
But I was just really confused about the whole arrangement. I also thought you guys were twins for a while, but then I was like, I don't know if that adds up. But no, yeah, I thought that was really cool. When I found out, I was still very confused, but I did think it was very cool that you guys.
It was fun.
Yeah, that's a pretty crazy thing to do. I don't know how many people could say that they did that. So you were like in a way, you were kind of like you were looking after Weston, right? Because you were the adult.
I was the leader, the commander of the household. No,
was it hard moving out on your own?
It was weird. I don't know. At first, like, they were with us for about 2 months, maybe 1 month or 2 months when we were just, like, moving in. But then once they left, it was kind of like, oh, like, now it's just us and we have to figure out how to do everything. Weston would do the dishes and we'd have to walk outside with our laundry and everything. So that was new for us. Because it used to always be like, oh, the parents will do it. We just kind of do whatever in our rooms. But then we had this whole apartment to take care of. Yeah,
the laundry doesn't do itself, you know. Doesn't magically just doesn't just magically fucking clean itself. Which is a stark realization that I'm gonna receive very soon. But yeah, that New York is somewhere where I definitely want to spend some time of my life in New York. I hate talking to New Yorkers about New York because they're such fucking. It's so annoying. They hate it. They're like, oh, you don't want to come here. It's like, shut the fuck up. Yes, I do.
Like, oh, you think you want to go to New York, but you don't know what New York is really like.
Yeah, it's always that shit. And I'm like, listen, I get it, right? You live there your entire life. You hate, like, everybody hates the place that they lived at for most of their life. Like,
that's true.
We could be like, oh, yeah, you know, there's nice, you know, I say that about Estonia where I'm like, Estonia fucking sucks. But it's not because it actually does suck. It's just because I'm tired of it, you know?
I say that about North Carolina, but that's because it's boring.
Mr. Beast lives in North Carolina.
Yeah, but he like makes his own fun, you know? He's got millions of dollars, so he'll be happy.
That is true.
But you can't live in North Carolina if you're like a very creative person, I feel like.
Matt Pat lives in North Carolina.
Well, Matt Pat, you know, he's got the food channel, the game channel. He's got a lot to do.
True. And he's got like 2 kids and a wife.
And a wife.
I really feel like he lives the optimal life. Like, I feel like he is very happy. But who knows?
He probably is very happy, but I don't want to be in his shoes ever.
Why?
I don't want to make game theories. I'd get bored. No offense to Matt Pat. I love Matt Pat. Matt Pat's awesome.
It's a very rigorous process that he has to go through. I mean, his videos take a lot of effort. I probably wouldn't be able to upload more than once a year if I was in his shoes.
Welcome back to another game theory.
But you, so you play lacrosse, right? That's
somehow I
a
knew
big part of your
that was
personality.
going to be the next thing. That is my entire personality.
Were you good?
I got a new stick. I'm very good. Did you get a
scholarship?
No, because I don't know. There was this thing where I was supposed to like put my name and my stats out there, but I didn't do that ever because I didn't know like, oh, I'm supposed to do this. I just thought that it would like, people would be like, oh, you want a scholarship? But that wasn't how it worked. So I just never tried. Also, I wouldn't go to college for lacrosse. It's too much. That's too competitive.
Is there any money-making potential for lacrosse like outside of college? Like, is there professional lacrosse?
I think so. Well, wait, maybe not. Maybe it might just be college.
I've never heard of lacrosse outside of like American white women. Like that's really the only place I've heard
I didn't hear of
about.
it until high school. And then I was like, oh, I'll do it.
And you got good.
It's my favorite sport. I got good. I got the best.
You were the best in your school?
Well, no. I was a captain though.
That's something. Did you get that based off like seniority or like?
No. I had it for 2 years, I think. So it was a mix of being good and being so cool and awesome. You know.
So you're like So you're like a natural leader, like the leader of the pack.
I guess. I don't know. I don't know if I am. We hung out at VidCon London. Am I a leader at all?
No, I think I was. I'm going to be honest with you. I think at any convention that I've been at, I kind of am the organizer. Because I like organizing.
That's true.
I like
talking to people, though.
Yeah, me too. But it's kind of a cool feeling where people look at me for guidance, you know?
That's true. I feel like if I had any troubles, I'd be like, help me.
Yeah, you do that a lot. You do need a lot of help. But I don't mind. Because that's what...
I do need a lot of help.
Yeah, that's what being friends is all about. Helping each other out.
That's true.
So, you see, this is what I found most fascinating about you guys is I've known you guys for a while, and I felt like for a while I really had you guys pinned down, and I kind of understood everything that there is to know about the Kourys. But then every now and then you guys will just randomly drop a bombshell. Like, I think the most recent one was like a couple months ago when you guys just randomly said like, oh yeah, we met Bo Burnham. Like, we went to the premiere of 8th grade, and I was like, what? Like,
yeah.
It's just always shit like that is just like completely random and like out of pocket.
We just, somehow we know a lot of people. I don't know how it happens or how we like get introduced to them, but I don't know. We just have a lot of connections, weirdly.
I think
strange.
You guys are very likable. I think people
thank you.
Get like, I don't know. I think you're very easy to like in the sense like I you know, not to like take a lot of credit here, but I feel like I introduced you guys to a lot of people, and I remember like introducing you guys. I think I introduced Weston to Austin, and
oh my god,
now Austin is literally like obsessed with him. Like I've never seen anything like it, and that shows that I don't know. You guys are just very easy to get attached to. But where I was going with that was like, so was it Weston was the one that like started getting into social media, right?
Yeah.
And then at what point did Sinjin Drowning become a thing, and why did it become a thing, and like what's the whole scoop on that?
Ooh, the scoop. Well, when he first was doing like his own channel and everything after You Now and like his big MagCon era thing, I was always in the vlogs and everything, and I like saw him make them and edit them. So I was always kind of like in the background, like a little character in them.
Yeah.
But then when we moved to New York, we were like, oh, well, we could just make videos together, like vlogs of us drinking coffee, and then just put it on one channel and make it a thing. So we did that in 2018, I think. And it started off as a podcast because we were like, oh, this will be fun and easy. We have a lot of things to say. But but I got annoyed with it. I didn't like it. It was just like, I don't know. I was a little bit mean back then, I think.
Why were you mean? Why didn't you like the podcast?
Well, because I was going to school, like, I was going to college from 7 a.m. because I'd wake up early to get to class. And then I'd get home and I'd be like, all right, I just want to like eat some food, drink a little energy drink, and then just hang out. But then it would be like right when I got home, time to do the podcast, which is fine in theory. But I was just so like, it was too much on me, I think. I was too stressed, and then I'd just get annoyed very easily, which was bad.
We've all been there. Yeah, I've watched a few episodes of the podcast. I'm a pretty avid consumer of Sinjin Drowning. And
you can tell.
Yeah, I mean, there were definitely parts in the. I'll be honest with you, there definitely were parts in the podcast where I was like, I don't know if you were feeling it. You were like, I feel like Weston would be like asking questions, and you'd be like, yeah, I guess, and I'd be like,
yeah.
But I honestly kind of like that. I like the vibe of it. I don't know. It was just a really cozy vibe of like Weston sitting in the kitchen, or like on the next to the kitchen counter, and then you on the couch.
I think that you could tell like by where we were sitting too. Like I'd be in a blanket, just eating food, and he'd be like sitting up on the thing, like, "Hey, what's going on?" It was too much. I couldn't do it.
That is, yeah. And then it turned into what it is today, which is
Sinjin Drowning.
I mean, it was Sinjin Drowning at the start too, but now it's like Sinjin Drowning, but not a podcast, but instead it's like a lifestyle channel.
A family vlogging channel.
Or it's like it's kind of like a super mega channel where it's like, you guys just like have fun, do whatever you want.
See, I like that.
Yeah, I've always kind of wanted to have a channel like that. I've just never been in a position where I can really have a channel like that. Like I've never lived with somebody that I would want to do that with. I wouldn't do a channel like that with my mom. No offense to her.
What about your grandma?
I think if I did it with my grandmother, I would be canceled immediately. I think everybody loves to. I just feel like if my grandmother had any sort of social media presence, people would dox me. So I don't know if it would be a smart choice in that sense, really.
Do you think that your mom and I could start like a channel or a podcast?
She can't speak English.
But like if she did.
I think, yeah. I mean, I've always said that you and my mom have very similar energy in the sense that neither of you guys know how to use technology, which is you guys do a lot of the same things where you just I feel like with all due respect, you guys will have a little like hiccup on any sort of technology and then you'll act like it's all broken when you could just like, kind of just keep exploring.
Because it seems like it is broken.
Right. Well, it's not, but
like I don't know what to do if something goes wrong. I just assume that nothing's working.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing is you guys would probably need to hire somebody to like run the podcast for you because I don't think you guys you I don't know. I feel like you guys would have trouble with that.
You could do it for us.
Would you pay me?
No.
Well, then I have no interest in doing
we would
something.
like do your laundry though.
That would be pretty poggers.
You're pretty boggling.
So, New York era ended, and then you guys moved to LA.
We did.
Seemed like
and people were not happy with that.
Really? Is that so?
That's so, because people have this idea in their head that LA is going to change every person that goes to them, which is like, I could see it if you get caught up in the LA lifestyle or whatever.
I got caught up in the LA lifestyle in the month that I was there, so I honestly completely agree with it. I went completely psychopathic. I'm not going to lie, like, I literally don't think my ego has ever been higher than the month that I was in LA. Like, I remember I went to LA, and I had, I had never, like, dyed my hair. I didn't have my ears pierced. I barely ever like painted my nails. And I went to LA and I just had like the time of my life. Like I'm not even gonna lie, like it was so much fun and I love LA because of that. I think LA objectively as a city is horrible, but god damn, I just had the best time of my life in that fucking place. Like I was just at the top of my game, man.
Do you think you would be if you went back? Or would it just be like, was it just a one-time
No,
thing?
I think I would definitely, because I have friends there. A lot of people that I really love. A lot of them are friends that like they're not social media people. So when I've been in Estonia, like I barely keep in touch with them just because they don't know how to use social media that much. So they'll post their Instagram pictures and then disappear into the void. So I think I don't know. Like I definitely want to go back to LA at some point for like a month because I think it would just be a ton of fun.
We should go.
Yeah, I think we should do a trip.
Because I think trip.
I feel like your guys' LA experience was also like kind of diminished by the fact that we entered quarantine and stuff. Not a lot was going on.
Yeah, COVID was happening the entire time we were there.
Yeah. From the start to the end.
We couldn't really do anything at all.
Yeah.
We got the Johnson & Johnson right before we left.
Yeah, you guys are brave for that. For getting the Johnson & Johnson.
I kind of like it.
I'm getting the Pfizer.
I mean, that's probably the best one to get, I feel like.
Yeah, it is. Right? I don't know. People say it is. I don't know if it's true. I mean, I don't know, man. As long as I don't die, I don't care. It could like
Johnson & Johnson was really fun for me. I had vivid dreams that I was in GTA and I couldn't get out.
What the fuck? I mean, technically you were in GTA because you were in LA.
Yeah, but like it was just really weird. I was like in my dream, but also maybe it was like, could that be sleep paralysis if I'm like stuck and I'm like I can't move or get out?
Maybe, yeah. That kind of sounds like the description of it. I've never really had sleep paralysis, to be honest with you.
Well, if that was it, then it was a little bit scary.
Sounds miserable, sleep paralysis.
It does.
Just the whole idea of like not being able to move as there is a demon next to you.
Yeah. People like actually see demons.
They do. In many occasions, not even just sleep paralysis. It's a very common thing for some people.
People see demons every day.
Yeah, it's true. I see demons. No, just kidding.
I have demons.
I have, yeah, me too. So you have any phobias?
I don't like Michael Jackson in this one era of him.
Yeah, I don't like him either in that era.
You know the era? You know the same
I know
era?
the era. I literally, I don't know if you've heard this, but I had a thing when I was a kid. When Michael Jackson died in 2009, I thought he was going to haunt me specifically. I don't know why. I don't know why I thought he would give a shit about me. Believe it or not, I never had any sort of personal ties to Michael Jackson. I don't think he knew that I existed.
I think he knows.
I would hope not. I think he's dead, so I don't know. He didn't know, and he won't know because he's dead. And he's been dead, I think. Maybe he faked his death. I don't know. But
that's the scary thing. Like, how are we going to know?
Well, I think
would he be dead by now?
I mean, he would be like 60 something. He died pretty young. Like he was like 50 when he died.
Yeah, I have a fear of like if a Michael Jackson song comes on the radio specifically, like not on aux, on the radio.
Yeah.
So naturally you're getting Michael. I can't turn it off because I feel like if I turn it off, I will crash my car. Or the person driving will crash the car. Because like it's weird. I don't know where I came up with this or when I came up with this, but it's like I feel like if you turn it off when it's on, Michael somehow is going to start directing the car and like cause some kind of incident.
That is pretty crazy.
It's concerning.
That's a pretty crazy vision to have. Mine was the fact that, well, actually mine was pretty weird too. When I was scared of him haunting me, I would be scared that whenever I flushed the toilet, he would appear for some reason. So what would happen is I would flush the toilet, and then I would kind of run out of the bathroom and go wash my hands in a whole other room. Oh my god! What the hell's happening to that door?
The camera's about to die too. Oh my god!
There's all sorts of issues.
God.
Is that door okay?
Yeah, Weston like stuck his hand through it. That door goes up.
What?
Sometimes. I would give a demonstration, but my headphones... Do you want me to give a demonstration?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, hold on. I can't hear you.
To any audio listeners, she is walking up to the door. She has these double doors, and then she is bending the door in a kind of way that seems like it shouldn't be bending. And there is also a blinking camera going to die
It does alert. That. I don't know why. Ooh, sorry.
Awkward.
1 minute. I don't know why it does that. Were you doing a little voiceover moment?
Yeah, for the audio listeners, yeah. I'm looking at the blinking battery icon, and it's scaring me quite a bit, actually.
What do I do? How do I fix it?
I mean, presumably you would need to maybe charge or change the batteries.
Oh my god. Give me 1 second. I'm so sorry.
All right.
Weston, do you have another camera battery? Yeah, I think
so okay. while they do that, yeah, I was very scared of Michael Jackson as a child.
I'm gonna need assistance with this.
To change the battery?
Yes.
Well, there's
Is this a battery?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, it would be.
Okay.
There's a little latch underneath I don't actually know what your camera looks like. In my camera, there's a latch underneath that you pop open, and then you take the battery out and you pop the new one in.
Hold on. Do you like the monkey?
I do like the monkey. I've seen TikToks of that monkey.
Wait, really?
I have, yeah. The monkey seems to be quite popular on TikTok.
Okay, I see a thing. I think this will open it. Ow.
It is pretty annoying to open it, I'm not gonna lie. I always have...
Okay, I got it, right?
Yep. No signal. R.I.P. Kalynn Koury. Now you pop it out, and then you put in the new battery.
You have no idea how scary that was.
Changing the battery?
The way that it popped. Okay. Now what? Does it just like work? I heard a noise.
There we go. Yeah, it's back.
Oh my god.
It's back.
I moved it a little, I think.
Yeah, partly that was my fault because Weston's been asking me to send him like a link to a thing so that the battery's always charged, and I forgot.
Ooh.
So that was partly
Is it blurry?
my fault. It is a little blurry.
How do I fix it?
You have autofocus on? Probably should turn that on. That helps.
I don't know how to do that.
That's fine.
Are you sure? I want to make this good.
I think it's fine. It's not that blurry.
Okay.
I don't think people care.
I think it's... Okay.
Or if they care, that's pretty awkward. Because...
That's a pretty stupid thing to care about. Just kidding.
Yeah, I have a phobia of snakes.
Like big ones or all?
All snakes. I hate them.
What about the tiny ones?
I hate all of them. Every time I see one, even on video, I get really uncomfortable. And if I were to see one in person, I'd probably have a panic attack. It's that bad. Like
oh my god.
It's because when I was a kid, in Estonia, there's a lot of vipers. And when I was a kid, I lived in the countryside, and I would just like waddle around the forest and stuff.
Waddle?
And then I ran into a viper, and the viper like kind of tried to charge at me and bite me. And they're venomous; they could kill you. So, and I was like a little boy, so that fucked me up for life.
That's like that makes sense though, to have xenophobia.
Yeah, it does because they're
I'm
creepy.
scared of stink bugs, but that's
weird.
Like, what are they gonna do? They can't do anything, but it's just like the way that they look and the way that
they're gonna stink up the place, man.
Well, I don't even care about that. It's just like how they look to me.
Yeah.
And how they move and how they fly. Dude, if I have a stink bug flying around in my room, I'll actually cry.
Yeah, I wouldn't want one in my room. That's just pretty awkward overall, I would say.
It is. It's sad.
If it like blows up or whatever and then it starts stinking up the entire room, I mean, that's just a hassle to deal with.
I think they have to die to stink it up, to be honest.
No. Yeah, and then you gotta like use Febreze or something to like remove the contamination from the area. Are you standing up right now? Have you been standing up this entire time?
I have been.
Do you find that tiring?
Well, I kind of stand in like this, you can't see. I stand like this.
Oh, and like this, like an arch.
Well, no, like I can't.
Oh.
You see?
Yeah.
For the audio listeners, it's like shoulder width apart. My feet are.
That helps.
It helps me because if I stand straight up, then I'm kind of like I'm not at ease.
I feel that. Yeah, me neither.
So then I also do this. I notice like at stores, I'll just do that, and then I'll take my hands and twist them together, and I'll stand like that.
That is pretty interesting. I don't know how many people I've seen do that. That is pretty fascinating.
I don't know what's wrong with me.
But yeah, we started talking about LA, and you said how I interjected with my lifetime experience of living in LA, but you said people didn't like it.
Well, yeah, because they think LA is gonna change a person, like everything that they do, and I don't know. Weston and I's content obviously changed because, like, well, first of all, it was in COVID, and then also you can't just like walk to a coffee shop like you would in New York, or just like I don't know. We also had 2 different setups then that we used a lot more than just one setup. So I don't know. It did change a little bit, but it wasn't like a personality change. I don't think. I don't know.
So
I got nicer.
You're talking about Sinjin Drowning viewers being unhappy with the change.
Yeah, and just also the typical stereotype, I guess, of like if you move to LA, you're gonna change. LA changes people. All that. Yeah. I don't know. I just think I got a little nicer and less annoyed at people.
That's interesting because that was like quarantine. I feel like in quarantine, I became the opposite. I became less nice and more annoyed at people. So that's actually a pretty positive change that you can say that you took out of it. And you guys lived in LA for less than a year, right? Yeah.
Yeah, just a little less.
11 months.
I mean, we just knew like it wasn't the place for us. We didn't have a ton of friends there. Also, COVID. But I don't know. It just wasn't the place. It wasn't the place. The weather was nice.
Why did you guys decide to move to LA in the first place?
Because we were like, oh, well, our friends are there.
Well, that's sad.
Well, like, okay. In New York, we had literally nobody. We didn't know anybody there except I knew like 2 people from my freshman class. But we didn't hang out or anything. So we didn't really know anybody except when people came to visit. And then we were like, oh, well, we have friends in LA. So we moved there. And then it was like, oh, well, we don't really have that many friends in LA. We have like one. Like El Mills. And that was it. And then we met CJ,
of course,
your friend. And he was lovely. And our editor also lives there. We didn't get to hang out with her as much as wanted. Shout out.
She's very nice.
Love all of them, though. It was just, I feel like we kind of met them, well, with the exclusion of Elle. We met them like a little later into when we were in LA. And also they had like work and school, so it was more difficult to hang out with them. But I don't know. It was off. LA, off.
Yeah. You guys lived in Hollywood too, which is funny to think about. That you guys just like moved like not even like, I feel like people normally they're like, I'm gonna move into like some sort of like LA suburb, something like away from the middle of the chaos. No, you guys moved right into the middle of Hollywood.
It was literally right next to a highway.
Yeah, it was very easy to tell.
It's in La La Land.
Yeah, the building is in La La Land. I remember we watched La La Land, which is crazy. That's a pretty
I love
weird
La
thing.
La Land. That was a really good movie.
Did you have any like celebrity encounters in LA?
Well, not like confirmed celebrity encounters, but there's a lot of people that look like other people there.
Yeah.
So
didn't you guys see Jeremy Renner?
Oh my god, we did see Jeremy Renner. He was driving by in a car, and we looked for 1 second, and we were like, "Oh my god, it's literally him!" But we couldn't think of his name, and we didn't take a picture because we were just so stressed. And then we were filming like before then. I don't know what it was. I guess it was like a coffee cam or something. But then we just didn't. I don't know why. I guess we were just in shock because we were like, "Was that him? Like, was it actually Jeremy?" Because he kind of looks like Hannah Montana's brother in the show a little.
He does. I for the longest time I thought it was the same person. I was like, damn, he's like in Marvel movies now. Like, good for him.
At first we were like, oh my god, it's Jackson from Hannah Montana. and then we had to find out his name and everything because we knew that you and Hoover liked him. So
I would not say that. I feel like he's done some bad things. We don't really endorse Jeremy Renner.
You guys like discussed him before.
We have discussed about him.
They do not like Jeremy.
More specifically, we discussed how Jeremy Renner apparently allegedly at one point put a gun into his wife's mouth. That is a true thing that he did.
I forgot about. We didn't enjoy our encounter with Jeremy Renner.
Yeah.
It was a bad time. I wish we never met him.
But LA is crazy. When I was in LA, I don't think I ran into any celebrities necessarily. I did walk. I think I saw like the Jimmy Kimmel camera crew from afar. You know, when they like ask questions. I
thought you were just calling him the Jimmy Kimmel.
No, I didn't see Jimmy Kimmel, but I saw his like little like weird camera crew that asks people questions. I saw it from afar. I think at one point.
Did they ask you anything?
No, because I didn't get to that point. I wish I did. Because it would have been pretty funny if I got on the TV. I think they pay you like $50 as well.
To go on?
Yeah, to have them like record you, because I mean it's only fair because they will always edit you to make you look really stupid, and then all of America will be like. I don't think I've
seen Jimmy Kimmel.
You've never seen Jimmy Kimmel?
I don't think so.
Well, you're not missing out.
I know his face though. Doesn't he have he has no. Wait, Stephen Colbert is who I'm thinking of. Yeah. I don't know what Jimmy Kimmel looks like.
Really? I mean, they all look the same. All the late night hosts. Jimmy Kimmel pretty much is like printed after the same blueprint as like Jimmy Fallon, which is crazy. That's even 2 different people if you really think about it.
Did you know that Jimmy Fallon, he was on iCarly?
Really?
With Tina Fey. And then Gibby was naked on the Tonight Show.
Are you excited for the reboot?
It's tomorrow. I'm so excited. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be good.
Yeah, I'm not really too sure about it either, but I'll keep an open mind. Did you see that they're gonna have sexual content
Yes, and I don't want it to be between Carly and Freddie. I think we've had enough of that. I don't like them together. It's too like, I don't know.
I don't like
middle
Carly.
School. Yeah, I don't think many people do. But
I think,
them together is just nasty.
I just, spoilers, but if you haven't fucking seen the finale of iCarly by now, it's been like 10 years. Like, you've had all the time in your life. But like, if I like looking at it from the perspective of Sam, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have a beautiful relationship with this person who's Freddie in this instance, right? And Freddie at first always just liked Carly, but then, things change. Carly didn't like him back. And then, him and Sam start dating, and then they break up. I don't remember why. Do you know why?
I think it's because like they kept fighting, and then Carly had to keep like getting involved and sort it out and everything.
Interesting.
I guess.
That's a very interesting plot line. But then in the finale, Carly just says like, "Oh, Freddie, I've always liked you," and then they kiss.
It's like forced.
It's forced, and it's also a fucked up thing to do. Like, I'm not gonna lie, if my best friend was going behind my back kissing my ex-boyfriend, I would be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like, they
just don't belong together at all. And if anybody watching this thinks that they do, I don't understand why. Maybe you're like reliving middle school.
Have you seen this TikTok of like what's the Spencer's actor's name? I forgot what it Jerry Trainer. Yeah, Jeremy Trainer. He
Did you say Jeremy?
Yes.
Jeremy Trainer. Jeremy Renner.
There's this clip of him that makes me laugh every time I watch it. It's like off the recent like press tour. He like goes like the interviewer says this thing where he's like, iCarly has this beautiful language, and then Jerry Trainer goes, English, and then the fucking interviewer, it's not funny when I describe it, but like the fucking face that he does, I'll send it to you later. It's a really funny TikTok.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. Jerry Trainer being involved makes me happy because I feel like he could probably carry the show.
I want him to get with like 20 more women. I want him to be in the bed. No, I want him to be on the couch with women, and then like Carly walks in and she's like, "Whoa, Spencer, not on the couch."
That sounds like a fan fiction.
Okay.
That just sounds like but no, yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting. I mean, now I would definitely hope that Jerry gets some, or Spencer. Pardon me.
Yeah.
Jerry is getting some, as we've seen on social media. He is.
I feel really bad that somebody like put that out there.
Yeah, I see. That's why I feel like being on dating apps as like a public personality, it's like kind of scary a little bit, because
it is, and then you never know if like people are gonna go for you because of your status,
exactly,
or because of what?
Because it's like, one thing is like, I don't know. I could never see myself being on a dating app in Estonia, just because Estonians are really weird, and I just know it's gonna end up on like someone's gonna post about it, and then it's gonna be like it's gonna be like a whole thing, and I don't want. But I think in America, I would easily get away with it. I don't think I'm anywhere near what like the per capita of people that know me in America is way smaller.
I feel like you'd still get caught though.
I would get caught, but like, would I care in America? I don't give a shit when I'm in America. That's the thing. When I'm in America, I don't give a fuck about anything.
So next time you go to LA, which app would you get?
Bumble.
Okay.
That was a bit too fast an answer,
good.
But
you've been thinking.
My ex-girlfriend recommended me Bumble.
Was this recently?
No, this was it was actually when I first met her, she was using Bumble and we were friends.
Oh.
And then once we stopped being friends, she stopped using Bumble, obviously, but once it progressed past that point. But she said, yeah, Bumble's like the best one, because like I think Tinder's like too monetized or whatever.
I think on Tinder everybody just wants like, they don't want a relationship.
I don't know if I want a relationship. Maybe I should go on Tinder.
Oh, maybe you should get Tinder.
Yeah,
maybe you could get all of them.
True. What is the besides Tinder and Bumble? What is there? Grindr? That's for gay people.
Yeah. Hinge.
Hinge, is that? I've never even heard that one.
I've heard of it.
Hinge.
Sorry.
That's fascinating.
I've heard of Hinge. I've heard of Tinder, Bumble, Grindr, of course. Raya.
Raya for the celebrity. I would love to get on Raya just to see who would match with me. I think I would match with every single. I would say yes to every single person just to see who would say it back.
I think you'd get a lot of matches on Raya.
You think so?
Yeah.
What if I match with like
I really
Corinna
want
Kopf?
it to happen. Well, I don't know if she's on Raya. Also, I think she only dates super rich men. But I'm not saying that like you're not super rich.
No, I'm not super rich.
Okay.
I don't think I'm not a millionaire. I'm not like a.
No, she definitely would date a millionaire though.
Yeah, I think I could woo her.
I think you could. I think that I don't know why this is like in my head, and I know that I've talked about it with you before, but I feel like you just like could woo over older women, and I don't know why.
Is she that much older?
I mean, she's older than you.
Probably. Let me see. Corinna Kopf age.
But also just like older women in general, like even a mother. But I know that it wouldn't like be long term, but I think it'd be fun, and I think she'd make you food.
She's 25. That's actually yeah. I've never been. Have I been with an older woman before? Maybe like older by like a couple months or like a year at most. I mean, I think it could be fun at some point in my life. I
think you could have a little MILF moment.
Yeah, you know, the problem with the MILF thing is like that does mean mother, meaning there's a child, and it's like I can't imagine like I can't imagine being like the stepdad. Like I just can't.
Like you wouldn't have to be. Like I feel like if you just had a little fling, like a little
that would be pretty crazy. That would be pretty crazy. I would love that though.
You go over. Maybe they don't have to be a mother. They could just be old.
True.
But not like super old. I don't know. I just could see it.
I think 35 is as high as I'll go.
That's good.
I think past 35, that's like
that's
at that point
scary.
You gotta like go figure out your pension and stuff. Like I don't want to be a part of that. Like that's not really my kind of lifestyle. But
would you ever have kids?
See, I talked about this with Hoover on the pod, and we came to the conclusion that right now I would say no, because my cousin has kids, my sister has kids, and I feel like that's enough kids in the lineage. I don't need to fucking contribute to this, and I just feel like I'm too lazy to have kids. I feel like when you have kids, you really need to be like, you can't be lazy. Like you gotta like take care of your kids, because like when you have like a 3-year-old and you're lazy with that 3-year-old. Like, let's say that you're at a store with a 3-year-old and the 3-year-old is like fucking crying and like being a bitch, and you like give in. That's gonna fuck up that child's brain for the rest of their life, because they'll get some sort of like weird like their brain will get some sort of like dopamine hit, and then they'll behave that way for the rest of their life. But I think what it could do is like I might meet somebody that's just gonna change the way I view things, and then I might want kids with them. How about you?
But I don't know. I don't want to be pregnant or push things out.
Me neither. I feel
like it's so long of a process, first of all, and then it would just be I don't know. Maybe I'm selfish.
Would you use a surrogate?
Well, that's also like a lot of work, and then I have to take care of them.
True.
I don't know. Eventually I probably will. But now, I don't know. I could see like a little Zoella Alfie moment happening, but they're like old, right?
Yeah, they're like in their 30s now. Like I wouldn't think about that shit until I'm like 30. I don't think, because 20s, man.
Yeah.
There's people I went to school with and they have kids, and I'm like, good for you, but like Jesus, like I just can't imagine doing that right now.
Dude, when I was a kid, I was like, oh, by 23, I think I'll be married, I'll be having kids, I'll be like a young, cool mom. Because I don't know, when you're young, you're like, all the ages are different.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, no, I don't know. I still want to go to like arcades and, I don't know, swim.
I think the way Seth Rogen talked about it put it into perspective perfectly, because Seth Rogen and his wife, they don't have kids and they've chosen never to have kids.
Ooh.
And he said that like it just fits their lifestyle better, because they can like, even though they're like in their late 30s now, they can just like sleep in every day if they want to, and they can like smoke weed whenever they want,
true.
and they can just like watch TV all the time, and it's like that fits their life more. And I feel like humanity has kind of evolved past this point where our only goal in life is to have children. Because if you look, you know, throughout history and throughout our evolutionary process, you'll see that, you know, the main goal of life is to produce more life, but we've evolved to, you know, kind of ask more from life and kind of try to find more. So yeah, I don't know. I just can't imagine having a kid anytime soon.
No, me either.
I
think for Zoe and Alfie, I feel like it's like perfect for them.
True. That's
Have
gonna
you
be a
been watching
vlog
the
child.
vlogs?
No, I haven't. I haven't really kept up. All I saw was that they posted a selfie recently, and in the comments, Zoella like wrote this whole paragraph about just to kill the engagement rumors, and I was like, oh my god, like imagine having to live that life where people are just constantly theorizing about your relationship. Like
it's so insane.
It would literally
like the
drive
amount
me
of
insane.
the amount of times where they've been like, no, Alfie's parents are like, they didn't get like married until way later. They didn't have kids until like way later. So that's kind of what we're going to do. And then everybody's still like, you need to marry her. You need to get married now.
Yeah.
You have a kid, get married.
Yeah. It's just, it's weird. It's this weird, like, parasocial shit. Like, I remember right before they had the kid, everybody was like, they're like, Zoella needs to leave Alfie. Like, Alfie is the worst. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Because they take one clip out of context where Alfie, like, looks at another woman and is like, oh, she's nice. And then they're like, oh, Zoe, you need to leave. You need to leave.
Yeah, literally. Like, it's like they've never been in an actual relationship where they need to, like... Because you look at any human relationship, friendships, you know, romantic relationships, you'll kind of reach this point where you're like, oh, you know, it's never perfect. There's always going to be some, you know...
Yeah.
If you spend every day with somebody, you need to you do that with kind of the thing that, you know, you understand that not every day is going to be a great day. Everybody has off days, and that's like part of the process of living with somebody.
And when it's like Alfie and Zoe who vlogged their whole lives, obviously you're gonna see some stuff that you're gonna be like, ew, I don't like when Alfie does that. I don't think Alfie's treating Zoe right in this moment. It's like, you don't know their whole relationship. You just know what you see.
Yeah, I feel like that happens a lot with streamers too, because streamers are on, you know, especially like a lot of the Twitch streamers, they're on stream like 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
A lot of them like daily. So it's like when they catch you, like I think the saddest part is that I think yesterday Miskiff was having like a bad day on stream, and I saw like clips from it, and I could just like, I think even at the start of the stream he said like, oh yeah, I'm not in a good mood. And then he was like kind of fighting with his chat, and then I read like LSF comments, and people were just like really mean about it. They were like, oh, he's being an asshole, and I was like, man, like sometimes people just have bad days, you know?
Yeah. And they just judge people off of that whole moment.
Yeah, because they fucking want their creators to be perfect little peaches, which is just not going to happen. But more on the topic of you. So now you're in Austin, Texas.
I am. I like it.
If you had to rank places that you've lived at in your life, that meaning North Carolina, New York, LA, Austin, how would you rank them?
Like based off of experience while there?
I guess so, yeah. Based off like satisfaction and like quality of life, I guess.
I'd say, I feel like so far Austin might be number 1, to be honest, which is a little crazy. Mm-hmm. So we haven't been here super long, but it's just like, we have friends here. I just drive everywhere. Mm-hmm. I'm not scared to drive anymore on the highways. I don't know. There's lots of things to do here, which is nice. And we have a house now, which is really nice. I'd say New York, though, was 2nd, North Carolina 3rd, and then LA 4th.
Damn, LA sucked.
It did, though. It did. But the apartment was nice. It was just, I don't know. Overall experience wasn't too great. North Carolina is boring, in my opinion. The beach and lake are fun though, but that's like, you don't go there all the time.
Yeah, and you can get that anywhere.
Yeah.
Beaches and lakes, they're everywhere.
I really, really liked New York. The thing is, though, I'm not a big fan of the subway. And I get, like, weird on the subway.
No, I mean, that's fair. Yeah, it's a very claustrophobic space. And there's
also,
very
like,
unsanitary.
People stare all the time, and they, like...
Oh, yeah.
That's, like, the only place in New York where people will look at you. Which is weird. I don't like it at all.
Do you ever see yourself living in New York again?
I think so. I would definitely go back to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I think Weston would too.
Yeah, I can definitely see myself just living there because I just feel like it'd be so much fun. Like, just like, because I feel like, I'm not going to say like, you know, I agree that New York has problems, you know, it's pretty obvious, but like, I just feel like it's something that I need to do at some point in my life.
Honestly, I think that everybody needs to either visit New York or try living there for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's very freeing. Because nobody looks at you when you're outside of your house. They don't really care. Everybody's doing their own thing. And you just like, I don't know, you feel creative and you could just feel like you can do anything. You feel like you can take on the world.
That's kind of how I felt about LA in a way was, nobody really like gives a fuck in LA. Like people are just weird and it's like kind of cool. That is one of the like the best parts about LA. Like LA is definitely a bubble and people are very obnoxious there about being from LA. Like it's like there's no world outside of LA. But it also brings out, I think, a wonderful side in some people where they're very carefree, and they're just like happy to live life, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
But Austin is, you know, me and Hoover talked about this. Did you ever envision yourself moving to Texas, of all places?
No, not at all. I feel like before, I guess we knew that like we had a ton of friends here. I thought we'd just go back to New York after LA. Like if that didn't work out, we'd just go back. But that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But it's fun. I really like it here so far.
Yeah, that's good. Living in the Streamer Central.
Streamer Central. I need to plug in my Ethernet cord.
That is true. So you can actually go live. The stands are starving.
They are. They really are.
How do you feel about stands? Do you love them? Do you hate them?
I think they're fine as long as they don't like try to get into my personal life and all the personal details.
Yeah.
Or take things out of context, like take clips out of context. Just as long as like, I just want me to be me behind like the screen, like my little wall of protection, and then they can just watch.
Yeah.
And they don't need to like, I don't know. It's complicated, I feel like.
It is. It's definitely complicated. I think overall they're positive. I think it's I think it brings there's a lot of positive sides to it. I think it brings people together. I think having community such as ours, it enables, you know, like artists and stuff to do great things.
Oh yeah, I feel like our community in general is very positive, which is good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just scared. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't been live in so long that it's gonna be weird getting back into it.
Do you think you're gonna start regularly streaming, or is this like or would you just like stream like once a week or like?
Ideally, I'd want to stream regularly, but I don't know. I have a bad habit of like, I'll want to stream, but then I'll be like, I'm feeling a little bit off. Let me just take the day off. And then the next day.
What I found to help in that situation is just like some days I'm like, I get that feeling and then I just go live, and then when I'm live, it just goes away. And then I just feel like, yeah, I guess I did want to stream. I enjoy streaming.
I think I really commit to streaming when I like make plans with other people to do things on stream. So like I have to I'm gonna do a bead thing with with Ophelia.
When is that? Is that in the near future? Is that something that the viewers can look forward to?
Yeah, whenever I plug in the Ethernet cord.
That is crazy.
And I have to get the beads too.
What, dude? So this episode is releasing on the Friday of this week. Can you give the viewers any sort of idea as to when you might be back?
Wait, what day is it today? Wednesday?
Today's Wednesday.
I don't know. Maybe next week. I'm gonna mark it in.
Next week you'll be back. Do you have? Well, that's awesome. You heard it here first. This is a Cool Dog exclusive. Kalynn Koury will be back next week. If she isn't, cancel her. And
please don't cancel me.
Reveal all sorts of threads, information, old tweets, old clips.
I actually don't have any old tweets. My old tweets are like, softball was so fun this season.
Yeah, they are. They're very very innocent. Very
yeah.
Very tame.
I didn't know what I was doing on Twitter.
Do you have any questions for me?
When are we gonna play Valorant?
Do you want to play after this?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can play after this.
Woo!
Well,
also,
yeah.
Oh.
No, I don't have anything.
Has your grandma been eating any more of your food?
No, but she's been drinking my water.
Wait, how do you know?
Because I get bottled water because the water in my building sucks. And then she at one point started like drinking my bottles of water. She started like stealing them. And then I was like, okay, something isn't right here. So I raised it up with the family. I said, who the fuck is drinking my water? I don't mind if you drink my water. You just need to let me know so that I can account for it in my brain. Because I don't like this thing of like, okay, I got some water waiting for me. I'm going to go get it. And then I go and get it and it's not there. That is so sad.
That is.
So
that is really sad.
I told her, okay, I'll just order more water next time. And then I realized, okay, I need to like ration this because if me and her share a water supply, she drinks a lot of water, so she'll just drink all the water before I get to it. So then I was like, okay, you
can't ration water.
Well, it's bottles, right? So it's like,
oh, okay.
So then I was like, okay, I'm gonna get myself this brand of water, and she can get this brand of water, and then that way, you know, her bottles will look like this, my bottles will look like this, and then this gives us like an even share. And then she just started drinking my water bottles. She didn't even touch hers. I made an agreement with her that you should drink those. And she literally just started drinking mine. And I was like, why are my bottles disappearing again? Like I look at hers and it's just perfectly fine. I don't even like that brand that she has.
Maybe she just like got them. Maybe she didn't like hers.
Yeah, I don't think she did. Because then she asked, that's the weird thing is sometimes she won't ask me things directly. She'll give like a message to my mom. And then my mom will like, it'll be like some like henchman from like for like the Godfather and the mob. She'll like tap me on the shoulder and be like, grandmother said this, and I'd be like, okay. And then she was like, yeah, I want like other fucking waters. And I was just like,
wow.
I was just like, okay,
that's evil.
Yeah, I mean, she's a piece of work. My sister visited recently, and my mom bought my brother-in-law a phone for their anniversary or whatever, and the anniversary of my sister and my brother-in-law, and my mom was like, oh my god, this is such like a wonderful this is a good phone. Like I went to the store, and at the store they said, oh, this is like the top of the line phone, this is as good as it gets. And then my grandmother just blurts in the middle of it, no it isn't, there's better ones now. And I was like, I started laughing. I was like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck is her problem? Like, that is such like a fucking unnecessary comment, but she did it anyways with such confidence.
Was she like being truthful? Was that real?
I don't know. Honestly, she keeps up with it more than I do. Also, I just remembered this. She knows how TikTok algorithms work. Because she was like randomly like talking to under her breath to herself. She was like, I don't like nobody in the room was even listening to her. I don't think I was, but like I don't think anybody else was. And she was just talking like, you know, you can't even curse on social media anymore now. Now people, you have to type cuss words differently. I was like, what is she talking about? And then I realized she's talking about TikTok when like, for example, when people like say sex.
Speech?
Yeah, like when people say sex, they type like SEGGS so that it doesn't get like caught by the algorithm. And she's picked up on that. So.
I can't believe she knows. She watches TikToks?
Yeah, she watches TikToks. I fucking hear it all the time. It's miserable.
Oh.
And then she'll like find a song that she likes and she doesn't know how to get the full song, so she'll just listen to the snippet all like over and over and over again on repeat.
I want to know her TikTok.
I would really hope that she doesn't actually have a account that she posts on. That would be my biggest nightmare, I think.
I bet she has her likes public.
That would actually be the worst thing ever. She's definitely on Witch Talk. If she's on TikTok, she's on Witch Talk for sure. She was, you know, back when Hoover had his encounter with the witches, I feel like my grandmother was probably one of the people that was canceling him.
She tweeted at him.
Yeah, she probably put some sort of spell on him. Shout out to the witches. Yeah, shout out to the witches. Don't hex us.
No.
That isn't very good.
I'm gonna cast a protection spell.
Yeah, for real. That's I think that would be the wisest move in that choice. But yeah, this has been the Cool Dog experience, the Joe Rogan experience with Kalynn Koury. Any last words?
I was gonna do I don't want to do it again. I was gonna do it. Oh. Thank you for having me on.
Anytime. You'll be back soon at the same time as your brother.
Okay.
I think that'd be fun to do. Anyways.
That would be fun.
Yeah, subscribe to us on YouTube, give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, listen to us on Spotify, and give me money.
Give him money.
Give me money. Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Bye guys.